I used to not be big into video games, but one day I went over to my friend's house and he had an Xbox, and he was my best friend, and we played Halo 1 or 2, I think it was, all night long. And from that point on, I was pretty much hooked. I wasn't really a big PC gamer at all until I found Smite, pretty much. I was basically pretty much bored one summer and looking for a game to play, but I didn't have any money, so Smite was a free game and it looked fun, so I just downloaded it, and 3 years later, I'm here. I pretty much wanted to start playing Smite as soon as I downloaded it, and it basically made me do like a bunch of security questions and make my IGN, obviously. And I actually don't remember if my friend had ate at Baskin Robbins that day or if I had and he told me about it. But I pretty much just made a Baskin Robbins, just a random name. I was never competitive in any other video game. I'm pretty much the opposite of my teammate Jigs. Whenever he plays a game, he strives to be the top of the top, but I was pretty much playing for fun. It was just really enjoyable. I loved playing it every single day. But it ended up that I was good at the game and people recognized me and noticed me, and eventually I was invited into the SPL team. My biggest support probably would be either my friends or my parents. It's kind of weird because at first, like all parents, my parents didn't want me to play video games. They thought I was playing too much, but they said as long as you keep your grades up, it's fine. So I pretty much kept on playing, and once I started making money from it, they finally recognized and did some research in esports and said, wow, this is like a actual thing. It's not just me playing a video game, you know, for like 5 hours a day. And also my friends at high school, they were all big into video games and esports, and a lot of them supported me. They always asked me about my games. Even now, when we've all graduated, some of them still text me about them. I don't know, it's just really good having a lot of people around you that, even though this is an unorthodox path in life for sure, it's a newer option that has been created with esports recently. It's a good feeling to have a lot of people that understand and are willing to support you. My first team ever was Denial Esports. That was around a year and a half ago. I was pretty much just a ranked player, playing ADC and solo, and at the end of, I think it was Season 2's Spring Split, the best left Denial, which opened up a solo spot on that team, and Shing invited me. And that was my first ever team, and it was an SPL team. And I ended up performing decently on that team. I wasn't the best, I wasn't the worst, but I was just solid. And from that, I ended up getting picked up on C9 because Omega left. So it's pretty much 2 lucky breaks for me. Best leaving, which allowed me to enter the SPL, and Omega leaving, which allowed me to enter the top echelon of SPL.
My favorite memory was probably going to the last LAN. That was my first LAN. It was a cognitive invitational, and seeing my team and getting first place and doing really well was a really good moment for me.
And from there on, we proceeded to go, we placed third at Worlds that split.
Guys, come on.
But there was some, after Worlds, Andy kind of wanted to split up the team because he's been teaming with them for probably 2+ years at that time. And I went with Andy, then eventually ended up leaving the team to join my own team. I think Baskin's pretty good. He's like probably top 3 solo laner. He just has good mechanics and solid and good looking. Well, first of all, I don't think anyone can be the best player in the world. I think like roles are too different. Like you can't really like compare a solo laner and like a ADC, for example, right? Although it's flattering, like I don't think so. I think you can compare within roles, but I don't think I'm the best player in the world. I don't think anyone really sees themselves when they're just like a ranked player going to Worlds. I was never really, I don't know, I never really had the ambition to be the best, but it kind of just worked out that way. And I definitely didn't expect to make any money from Smite when I started playing it, but that just ended up happening naturally, I guess. Making SWC would mean a lot to me because I've been working hard to make up SWC this whole year, and I fell short of winning last year by 2 places, and I feel like if I could win this year, it'd mean a lot to me. I think we're definitely the most individually talented roster in terms of mechanics and just individual play. And I think if we could up our team game more, we are clear-cut winners for SWC. After Worlds, it's really hard to predict. Obviously, there's a roster apocalypse. Last year, only the winning team and Orbit stayed together, and every other team in the SPL, EU, and NA made roster changes, so it's really hard to predict. I really like the group of guys that I have right now, so I would like to stay with them, but it's just like pretty much impossible to foresee the future.